Good day viewers, in this video I'll be showing you how to multiply surds using the following rules. The first rule says that whenever you're multiplying two surds with different radicand, the result is going to be the square root of the two radicands multiplied with themselves. So root of x times root of y would be equal to the root of x times y. So this xy means x times y. The second rule says whenever you are multiplying a surd with itself, so you can see that I have root x and I have root x. So the result is going to be the root of x squared because x times x is x squared. And so the square root of x squared would be x, since square root is the opposite of square and they will cancel out. So I'm left with x. The third rule says whenever you are multiplying a surd with a rational number, whether a fraction or an whole number, so the result will be that the fraction or the whole number will become the coefficient of that surd. So root x times m will be equal to m root x. Then the rule 4 says whenever you are multiplying two surds with coefficients, so you can see that I have root x with a coefficient of m and root y with a coefficient of n. So the result is going to be that I'll multiply the coefficients, then I'll also multiply the radicands. So I'm going to have mn root xy. Since xy are under the square root, so they'll be the one under the root, just like I did for the rule number 1. So we'll be solving the following examples according to the rules that we have stated. So example 1, we are told to simplify the following. So the first example, according to rule number 2, we can see that I have root 7 times root 7. And because the radicands are the same, the result is just going to be the root of 7 square. And like I said earlier here, the square cancels the square root. And so my result is 7. That's my result. The second example, so you can see that the second example looks like the rule number 1 that has different radicand. So root 5 times root 2 will simply be the root of 5 times 2, and that will be root 10. When you look at example 3, it seems as if you are applying the first rule also, since the radicands are also different. But if you look more closely, you'll see that we can actually simplify the surds. So we can say that root 20 is the same thing as root 4 times 5. And also root 48 is the same thing as root 16 times 3. Because 4 times 5 is 20 and 16 times 3 is 48. Then when you try to simplify this further, you are going to see that we have 2 root 5 multiplied by 4 root 3. Because the square root of 4 is 2 and the square root of 16 is 4. So now at this point you would see already that this, we can apply rule number 4 to solve this. So all we need to do is to multiply the coefficients with themselves. Just like you have m and n here, it became mn, m times n. So we're going to say 2 times 4, and that will be 8 root, then x times y now, 5 times 3, that will be 15. And that's our answer. Then looking at the last example, you are going to see that we'll be having something like an expansion. So the meaning of this bracket is that what you have outside the bracket will multiply everything in the bracket. So basically this is what we are going to have. We are going to have root 2 times 3, then minus the same root 2 again, root 2 times the root 2 inside now, root 2. So if you look at the third law, you see that this first part follows that third law. you are multiplying a surd with a rational number, and that is going to simply give you 3 root 2. The rational number becomes the coefficient. Then going forward, root 2 times root 2 follows the second law. Since they have the same radicand, it's just simply going to be root 2 square, and that's going to be 3 root 2 minus 2, and that's your answer. Thank you for watching.